So I feel like emotional intelligence embodies a lot of things. So yeah, I would rather be with a girl that has like emotional intelligence over money, because money, I get bored of it.
Comes and goes.
If we go back to Nigeria, I'm pretty sure like you see people shouting, "Hey, Chenke, come now, I want to marry you." I was talking to this young lady one time, like she was telling me this story of why her and her boyfriend are currently not talking, why they broke up. So she was telling me like, oh, that the guy had said that they should be exclusive, but he was always going out with random girls and everything like that, and that she never liked it. But then they had a fight eventually, which makes a lot of sense. And I asked her, what about you? Do you sleep with other people? She was like, yeah, but he doesn't know that.
Yeah, what's good, people? What's good, family? As you know, this is your boy Dave, and obviously you're welcome to another episode of Chop It Up. No need to get into too much detail, but we all know Chop It Up is it's a podcast where I get to talk about different things regarding Nigeria and the UK with my brother.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. My name is Joshua. As you all know, you can call me Josh. Yeah, you know, this podcast is about us, vibing together, talking together, chopping it up. And today we have a guest with us. Bro.
Right, before we introduce the guest, right, for people that have been watching, that we've talked about different
guys,
stuff.
I'm sorry, I'm always jumping the gun.
It's fine. We forgive you. Right, we've talked about different things. We've spoken about like the culture difference, the what's it called, the music difference, and what has happened since we moved here, what the music is starting to look like. And so today we're going to be talking about something totally different. And on that note, we got the help of one of our friends. She doesn't need much introduction, but she's been...
No. See, that's the part I didn't want you to do. She needs much introduction.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Forgive me. She needs a lot of introduction.
Yeah, she needs much introduction. So, everyone, Sophia.
Oh, okay. Hello. What are we going to talk about today then?
Right, so today we're just going to talk about relationships because so someone literally messaged me the other day and said like, that they want us to go more deeper in the podcast and talk about deep stuff, like get deep basically. So I decided me and Joshua spoke and we said, all right, what can we talk about that can like bring the two cultures and compare them? So I was like, relationships. Because obviously we're from Nigeria, and then the way relationships are in Nigeria is totally different from the way relationships are here.
Yeah, there are various things that we experience in Nigeria. Now we come here and they're like, really? That's not common here. And there are things that are common here and they're like, really? People do this here? So, stuff like that we want to now actually talk about and,
chop it up, basically.
Get into the into too.
Let's not confuse how we the Nigerian accent yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's basically what it's just talking about relationships and like seeing the difference, understanding what can help, like what we feel like the people in Nigeria need to learn from people in the UK, and what we feel like people in the UK need to learn from people in Nigeria. Like, just to help relationships build better.
Cool. Then let me ask my first question, right?
Jeez.
Came with a lot of questions today, didn't you?
There are a few.
Oh my God.
So what's the biggest dating red flag that you ignored anyway?
Dating red flag. Right. So for me, one thing is I don't like, how like you fight with someone, they can have like, you guys have a fight, right? And then for me, I'm the type of person like once I have an argument with you and I tell you, that's fine. I understand, it's done. It's done for me. I just move on. I don't think about it. I forget about it totally. But one thing I don't really like is when like you keep bringing it back up. You know how like you say, it's fine. You join me and say, it's fine. Like nothing happened. And then like next thing you know, like in a week, you now be like, that's how that day you did this. And I'm like, no, that right there. But the truth is, at the end of the day, like I get it. Like some people, like a lot of people are not like me. They don't have the ability to just forget and move on. So yeah, I sometimes like just ignore it and I'll be like, all right, it's fine. I get.
But it's okay to forget and move on, but you should be learning from your mistakes, right? So if they're bringing it up, doesn't mean that you're not learning from your mistakes.
No.
It's possible.
No, this is how I see it. Because when most of the time when they end up bringing it up, it's in a totally not related situation. So it's like they're counting everything I've done along the way in the relationship. So even if it's not even related to that same situation, they still bring it up. For example, I was seeing this girl one time, and then what happened? So when I started dating, I told her, oh yeah, I just literally just got off, a relationship with someone. And then I just wanted to, like, at first I was like, oh, I just got a relationship with someone, but like that person was still very much involved, and I was still trying to like work things out and finalize it, end the whole thing. So she was like, oh yeah, that's fine, no problem. We had a lot of argument regarding that same person. And then one day, like, I think it was on my birthday, this person like texted me and said, happy birthday. Right? So she saw that message, she was like, why is she texting me? I'm like, it's my birthday. Like, it's really nothing that deep. She's literally talking to me to say happy birthday. Then she was like, we had the whole argument, and it was on my birthday. We had the argument on my birthday. And I was like, it literally took me, my mind just went off my birthday, because I was like, it's just a text. It's nothing that deep. She was like, but then at the end of the day, like, I think we got home, and then I thought we sorted it out. Because she was like, oh, it's done. Like, forget it. It's fine. It's not a big deal. It's just a text. Okay. She's like, oh, it's fine. The next thing I knew, 2 weeks later, she was like, that's how, from no reason, from nowhere, she was just like, oh, that's how this girl texted you the other day on your birthday. Like, and you not say anything about it. I'm like, like, for me, I feel like the more you dwell on the past in a relationship, the more it kills the relationship, and the more it drains the life out of the relationship.
Agreed.
So, yeah, when I say it's done, I want it to be done. I just want to move on and find something next. Like, let's find a way to fix what was ruined before, and just build from there. But when you keep bringing it up, yeah, it's just enough for me.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. For me, to answer your question, one of the things that has happened in the past with me that was a red flag, but I let it slide, ended up biting me later on in the ass. But anyway, so this was just, I was dating this girl, and we were just having this casual conversation, right? And then we do this thing where we normally watch TikToks together. So we saw a TikTok video one time of like a lady that said that, her and her boyfriend started like a cheating fund.
Oh.
Huh.
Like a cheating fund that every month, both of them put money in the cheating fund, and whoever cheats, the other person gets all the money. So we're having this fun conversation, and I bring it up. I'm not like a joke. I was like, yo, let's do it. And she was like, oh, of course, let's do it. Yeah. But you can be putting money in. I don't have to put any money in. I was like,
excuse me?
I was like, why? She was like, well, because you're a guy, you're most likely to cheat.
Bro, that's cool.
Yeah, because like you're a guy, you're most likely to cheat. But I was like, but you're not likely to cheat. She's like, who's she gonna cheat with? I'm like, okay. Turns out, I don't know. She never did, but it brought up like this whole thing in me. Even though I let it go, I started second guessing a lot of other things. So it wasn't a good thing that I let it go. It was a red flag that I should have
ignored.
Yeah, I should have ignored it, but
yeah.
I did.
I just want to say something. Do you know what I realized? Yeah, I feel like a lot of girls in general think that guys are more likely to cheat.
But that's true though.
No, you can't say that that's true. Like,
why? Wait. Let's not attack her. Why is that true? Like, why do you think that's?
Because in my life, at least,
yeah,
I know, or I come across more women that have been cheated on, than more men that have been cheated on.
Right. This is what I think. Right. I can't give a number and say like, oh, guys are more like. But then I just feel like it's easier for a guy, for the news of a guy cheating to be more broadcasted. You get me? Because
I'll tell you why. Sorry, can I take over? I'll tell you why. So I was talking to this young lady one time. Like, she was telling me this story of like why her and her boyfriend are currently not talking, why they broke up. So she was telling me like, that the guy had said that they should be exclusive, but he was always going out with random girls and everything like that, and that she never liked it. But then they had a fight eventually, which makes a lot of sense, that they had a fight eventually. And I asked her, what about you? Do you sleep with other people? She was like, yeah, but he doesn't know that. I'm like, but you guys had a fight about him. She said, yeah, because she was like, yeah, because men are sloppy.
See, I didn't want to say that, but that's the truth. Like, as much as the guys here, we can say, oh yeah, we want to like chat with like 10 different girls or like chat with 5 people. Girls do the same thing. Girls have like other guys they talk to, but then the only thing is that for guys, at some point we stop like. We're no more like, we don't put too much mind in it that we're like, oh, I need to hide it from this girl. We just get super comfortable doing it that it's like, it's easier to catch us.
Yeah, we get sloppy.
We get sloppy with it because we
don't think too much about it. But like women, come on, they are expert planners.
Women are planners, bro.
Expert planners, bro.
Formation 4-3-3,
and you know
4-2-2.
You know one thing, yeah? Do you know why it's easier for a woman to cheat than a guy? Because in terms of cheating, men, when is a guy that is enabling a woman to cheat on her boyfriend, it's never gonna come out because that guy is always gonna keep his mouth sealed.
Exactly. But
if it's a woman that finds out that he has a girlfriend, now it's different
because we got each other's backs, you know.
No, it's because
why.
Sometimes they keep doing it until this girl now pisses them off. Because you see where you hear stories of, oh, he was sleeping with my best friend. How often did he do it? And why did the story actually come out? Because when women fight, it's like, yeah, X them. Everything is, that's why this whole best friend thing, like, you can't delete. You see girls that say a lot of stuff in group chat, you're like, this group chat can never get out. Because there's a lot of things that gets out the moment they have a fight.
Yeah, I feel like for guys, yeah, like, especially when a girl, like, if a guy is, like he said, if a guy is the one enabling the girl to cheat, the guy is usually quiet about it because, like, especially like if the girl had already told him, oh, I have a boyfriend.
Exactly.
Like, you will not see that guy say anything about it.
I'm telling you, no stress.
But you see girls, even if you tell them, oh, like, for example, if a girl agrees and you say, oh, like, I have a girlfriend, but then she still says, oh yeah, I'm still down. Just one single mistake. You drop, maybe you just press the toothpaste from the middle. Or you just did not put the toilet seat down.
Yeah.
Next thing, she'll go on Instagram, go and say like, that's how this guy was. And he will not, she'll not be like, and he even has a girlfriend, Steph. And just like that,
it's out in the blue.
It's out in the open. So I wouldn't say men cheat more, even though men do cheat. But I feel like it's just easier to like catch a guy when he's cheating, and it's more girls have a broadcast channel. Like when one girl hears it in the, like, if there are 10 girls in the room, yeah, if one girl knows that this guy has cheated, 10 girls know.
10 girls will know.
That is facts. Yes.
But if one guy knows, it's possible that it's only maybe like 2 other guys that know. The rest they don't know. They are very clueless. So I think girls talk more than guys. So that's why it's like it's easier to say like guys cheat.
Yeah.
Okay. Fine. I hesitantly agree with your point.
Okay, it's fine. So long as you agree.
But moving on quickly. Okay. If your last relationship was a movie genre, what would it be and why?
My last relationship, like proper relationship. Wait, how did my last relationship end? Woo. This is very.
It's a tough one, isn't it?
It's very hard to think of. Like I can think of my relationship, right? But it's very hard to think of a movie that I would say.
It's not a particular movie. It's a genre. So is it horror? Is it?
Is it
comedy? Is it romance? What is it?
I would say it's thriller and the mix. It's a thriller because it had a mix of horror, action, comedy. It was everything combined. So I'll say it's a thriller. It was just intense. It was too much happening.
Intense.
Yeah, that's the word I'll use.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And Joshua?
I'll say rom-com.
Oh, that's sweet.
Now, there was a lot of romance. There was a lot of comedy with a dark connotation. Like, you know, when you see a rom-com that has dark jokes in between.
Very interesting.
Okay,
Do you know, now I'm so interested to know what happened in that relationship.
And why? Yeah.
But let me not, because I feel like we'll start opening old wounds. So we're
not talking about that.
You don't talk about that.
Yeah, we're not talking about it.
We'll not talk about it yet.
Yeah.
Okay. So then moving on, pick one. Unlimited money or unlimited emotional intelligence in a partner?
I'll go for unlimited emotional intelligence.
Why?
Because like you can have all the money in the world, but the more money you have, the more problems you have, right? It's like, so I feel like money doesn't really solve anything. Money just gets you nice stuff.
is it that isn't there a saying that people that say that money doesn't buy happiness did not have enough money to buy it?
No. Wait. Don't put that, because me personally, I'm okay. I'm calm. But I'm just saying, like for example, a girl can be rich, yeah, but then she doesn't have sense. No offense, but like, because you need to have like basic emotional intelligence to be able to even hold a relationship. You get me? Like, so
Agreed.
I feel like when you have emotional intelligence, the relationship has meaning, because with emotional intelligence comes a lot of things. It brings a lot of things together. Like, someone that is emotionally intelligent knows how to handle finance.
Agreed.
Someone that is emotionally intelligent knows how to have a conversation. Someone that is emotionally intelligent can lead you to good things. They can help you direct your life. They can help you plan yourself as well. So I feel like emotional intelligence embodies a lot of things. So yeah, I would rather be with a girl that has like emotional intelligence over money, because money, so I get bored of
Comes
it.
and goes.
Exactly, and you get bored. Like, bro, how many things you want to buy?
A lot for me. So Joshua, what about you?
I'll agree with him, but I'm also going to shift the bias a little bit. So I agree with you in terms of my own partner. If it's my own partner, whether they should have unlimited emotional intelligence or unlimited money, I won't like them to have unlimited money. That's because, like, if they have unlimited money, there's no guarantee that I'm going to benefit anything out of it, and I'm not even expecting
to benefit
much out of it. So at the end of the day, it's not a win situation for me. But in terms of emotional intelligence, there's great parts to it, and you've mentioned that part. But there's a part I want to mention that is weird. That is the part of they having infinite emotional intelligence and you not having enough.
Okay.
They're gonna feel like they're doing too much work to keep the relationship.
Okay. That's a different angle.
And you're gonna feel like they're doing too much.
Yeah.
And bothering you, because someone that's emotional intelligence is gonna pick up on everything. You can't get sad for longer than 2 minutes because they'll pick it up.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to be sad for that long to figure out how to get happy.
But being emotionally intelligent means that you understand that this person's sad, so you need to give them space and you need to let them breathe.
Yeah, that's exactly what it means.
But I agree on the point that it gets tiring to be emotionally intelligent with someone who's not that.
Yeah, because I get it, because sometimes, like, I just want to be left alone, yeah? But, like, when someone that's emotional, they'll be like, oh, and they start asking you, they pick up on everything. Like, I don't want you to be able to pick on all my moods. You know?
But that's empathetic. That's empath.
Yeah, but even an empath, I'm telling you, it can feel like too much sometimes, because it will feel like they're correcting you every step. You almost feel like you're not making you're not coming to decisions at the end because of yourself, and you start feeling dependent on that person.
But I'm not unemotional.
Yeah, but here's the bias I was talking about. If it's me, whether I should have unlimited money or unlimited emotional intelligence, I'll take unlimited money.
You personally?
Me personally.
Okay, so for yourself?
For my own self.
You take unlimited money. That's fair. Because money stops nonsense.
I'm telling you, you know what it is. Money stops nonsense.
But especially for girls, like, because girls, I feel like girls... so I asked this question.
You have a positive reaction to money.
But I asked this question, Sophia, let me see what you stand. Because I asked this question one time on my Instagram as well. I was like, who is more like... How will I put it? What's the word? Hold on, sorry, 2 seconds. Who loves more unconditionally? Right?
Yeah.
So I feel like girls in general, most of the time when a girl loves you, it's based on the condition. I feel like guys, we have the ability to love more unconditionally.
I don't think it's our abilities that we are expected. The expectation on guys loving unconditionally.
No, even at that, because
it's higher.
No, it's not even that, because like you think about it, as a guy, if you're trying to ask a girl out, what's the first thing in your head? What do you think about? Oh, does she have money? Do you think about, oh, can she do this? Can she do that? What's the first thing in your head?
You're thinking about doing something that she would like.
Yeah, exactly. So it's more like we are used to, I think guys, in general, we're already used to being providing, innit?
Yeah.
So like
pleasers.
So yeah, we're used to being pleasers. So I feel like because of that, when we're doing something for someone, it's just, we're not doing it because we do it because we can. It's because that's just the way we are. And I feel like, but girls, they expect you to do those things for them to able to start having feelings for you in the first place.
So for me, I think personally, it's because women are more realistic. We are more again, emotionally intelligent. We know how things are going to. It's
are
just,
we here for
no,
you?
No. Listen though, because
she's not insulting us.
Yeah, because if you think about it, it's like we are gonna know if this relationship is gonna work or not. So why go into a relationship where you're not gonna provide certain things that we want for us, and that's gonna break our hearts eventually, right?
Okay.
And your hearts.
Okay.
While men can potentially, I do agree that some men can love more unconditionally.
Yeah.
Because they are, yes, as you said, more providers and but they don't think things through. That's why.
Okay. So who would you say, men or women?
I would say men.
Men. Thank
Grudgingly.
you. That's all I needed to know. I don't care, because do you know there were some women on my Instagram story that were actually arguing with me that women love more unconditional. I'm like, they were not like telling me when a man beats you up, you decide to still stay with him, and I'm like, you know what?
But so that's the thing. It's extreme to say, a man loves unconditionally, a woman loves unconditionally. I think there are certain people in both genders that love unconditionally without any expectations. But even men, for example, when they fall into love to start with, to get to that position, there are conditions that a woman should look pretty. She should look in a certain way, in a certain manner. She should act in a certain manner, like the icks and red flags and etc. that you've said. Those are conditions in a different sense of words. While women, I would guess, have more materialistic conditions. So I would say both of them have conditions, just different conditions.
Yeah. Fair. Okay. Good point. Okay. Good point.
Right. But we're gonna move on from this.
Okay.
Right.
I feel like the kid hit it.
Yeah. Okay. So what's your most toxic yet justifiable opinion on modern dating? So what's something that you think is toxic, but I can justify this?
Let me take it every day.
So let me
take this.
Go on.
I would say talking more than usual. And here's how I justify it, because there's one thing that people avoid a lot these days, and that's long distance relationship. Right now I'm hanging on the fence in whether long distance relationship is advisable or not. But if you're in a long distance relationship, I think it is important that you talk as much as possible. But at the same time, don't overdo it. Because when you start overdoing, when you start cutting off on things you should actually do just to talk to them, you start even feeling like you're doing too much, and the other person starts feeling like a burden, like it gets boring. But at the same time, it's justifiable to say talk as much as possible. And another thing I'll say is have access to what they're doing. Like,
have access, like monetary spirit.
No, not access, but like knowledge. For example, this is I'm going here. This is what I'm doing. This is like, so you can't be stumbled upon with questions like, what's your mate doing right now, or get surprised because you don't know what your mate is doing right now. You're not around them, so it's a toxic thing. It can get very toxic. It's a very thin line. Like if people tread it, you can easily fall into being toxic. But at the same time, it has to be done in like a particular.
It's justifiable.
Yeah, it's justifiable.
Right.
Yeah.
So I just want to say something on long distance relationship, because I feel like, personally, long distance relationship without a plan shouldn't be a thing, right? Like, for example, what I mean is, like, if you're dating someone without a plan of actually having a plan to actually come together at the end of the day and actually find a way to stay together, right? You shouldn't be in the first place. Because, like, if you talk, and another thing, I don't think, like, the less you know in a long relationship, in a long distance relationship, the less you know, the better it is your relationship has a chance of actually holding up. For example, if I'm in a long relationship and then you're always calling me and saying, oh, I want to know where you are, I want to do this, I want to do that, it's at some point it starts feeling, how I put it, overwhelming. Like you're always trying to be there. Like, have space for yourself, have your time to yourself, right? Don't always like try to like be on the call 24/7, be on the call.
Don't lose yourself.
Don't lose yourself because of you're in a long distance relationship. So I feel like if you're in a long distance relationship, the less you know, the better. Right?
Yeah, I'll say
I'm sorry. As much as in a relationship you want to know everything that's going on, especially if two of you are away, right? But at the same time, you want to save yourself from mental stress. You get me? Because if you're always thinking about, what's this person doing? I want to know what they're doing now. Bro, you focus more on that than the fact that you actually like the person.
That's true.
So that would, at the end of the day, drain your relationship. And you will not see it, but at the end of the day, you notice that you start losing trust, you start losing love, you start losing feelings for that person because you're focusing on the wrong thing.
You're right. I'm testing
I didn't want to. You know,
yeah. But
I feel like I'm breaking waters.
No, I totally understand where you're coming from,
Yeah.
and being like at the receiving end of something like that, it was such an ordeal. But you know, we live and we learn now. So moving on. Yeah.
So
What's your
to answer your question, I feel like one thing that is like toxic but justifiable is keeping your keeping things about your relationship away from family, like immediate family members. And I feel like when you're in a relationship, it's important to keep things between yourself as much as possible, because when family comes in, you guys unknowingly will find a way to settle your situations with family involved. So at the end of the day, there is no full-on conversation between both of you. Your family sort of takes preeminence in your conversation. For example, if you're in a relationship with someone and then any little fights, you call a family member. You call, like, you want to talk to a family member, you want to, like, you will depend more on your family members than you will depend on your girlfriend. And the truth is, when you're in a relationship, you want to find a way to depend on each other a lot. So if you keep stuff away from family, fine, you don't want to keep everything away from them. You want to give them like bits and bobs because they're family and I feel like keeping like some certain things away from family helps your relationship. It helps build you guys, because then you guys find a way to like sort out your problems yourself. You know that it's just two of us here, or like if we don't sort it out now, it's
You're
done.
adults now.
Yeah, we're adults now, coming to the realization that we're grown. So if we don't sort it out between ourselves, like, then what's the point of a relationship? Because the truth is, family won't always be there.
Yeah,
you know, like,
agreed.
Yeah.
So let's now come to the more cultural side of dating, right?
Okay.
So who do you think does talking stage better?
Okay.
Is it Nigerians or the Brits?
This is crazy. Right. Do you want me to go first, or do you want to go first?
Let me go first.
All right, go on.
I would say, from personal experience, because I'll say the Brits. I'll say they're better in talking stages, because for talking stages to be successful, you have to have touched every topic that could possibly affect the relationships going forward. And I feel like the British people, they are very orderly. They like to do things bit by bit, step by step, and they are very focused on everything concerning mental health, emotions, society, community, like a lot more than back home in Nigeria. Like, don't get me wrong, dating in Nigeria is actually quite fun, because we even have certain beliefs where you don't say dating until both of you are exclusive. That's when we use the word, okay, I'm dating this guy. You both of you are exclusive. But over here, you're dating someone could just mean like, oh, I'm getting to know him. We went out on a date most of the time. So that's actually dating. But in terms of like actual having conversations with someone, is better. The Brits are better in terms of that. I'll say yeah.
Okay.
Right. Okay. I think I'll agree with him and say the Brits, but this is why I want to just add a few points on that. So I feel like in Nigeria, relationships in Nigeria are very much end goal related. Like, you know, like when you talk to a girl, you're thinking about bang, bang, bam, marriage. You get me? Like, move, do one, do two, bam, marriage. Okay. But in the UK, it's very individual. Like in terms that they're more, they want to know this individual. They actually want to know this person as a human, understand their habits. Like they want, bro. Some questions that you'll be going out on dates with girls from the UK, and then some questions they'll be asking you, be like,
examples.
So they'll be like, what's your, for this? I went on a date with this girl one time, and then she asked me a question. What did she say? She said, how did she say, what's your plan for the future? She asked me, what is my own plan? Not with her.
That's a very normal question.
Wait, not with her.
Yeah, it's normal to you, but it's
not with her. Like, she asked me, what do I plan on doing with, like, the course I studied? What do I plan on doing with it? Like, she was more interested to know how I plan on self-building myself. She didn't even care if we're going to be in a relationship. She wasn't asking me the question as, oh, we're going to be in a relationship. She was asking me the question like she was genuinely interested to know what my plan is for doing that course I did in the first place. But Nigerian girls, right, they ask you a question like that. They want to know how much you're going to be putting in their account. Straight up. Like, They want to know what's going to happen. What's your plan?
Right? What is the possible net worth?
Like, what is the possible net worth? Did you get? So it's like, UK people, they're more very specific about like getting to know you as an individual. So that's why they would like their talking stage is usually more intense and more interesting, so to say, because they get to know you. You actually do stuff together to get to know yourself.
So is the talking stage here in Britain longer than in Nigeria? Would you say?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, yes, it's longer than Nigeria. Let me break down relationships in Nigeria.
Okay.
I meet you.
Okay.
I take you out to dinner. I spend money on you. We go back to my house. I'm measuring here. The next morning, I call your mother. Hey, I would like to marry you. Your mother will say, okay, come and visit the family. You go and visit the family. You talk to the family. Before you know it, both of you are dating. 2, 3, 4 months. You go back to the family to do what we call declaration.
Oh.
Declaration. Once you declare, the family give you lists. You go back. 2 of you are still talking. It's not in all families, but because of in the city, like say like in Lagos, you see the girl already living with the guy. But it's not very common. In Nigeria, you see she could possibly still be living with her parents and him is living with his own parents, kind of thing. But like everything is just so fast paced and gears towards marriage.
Yeah. So there's no like living together, see where things go. No.
Before, see, to show you, like, let me give you this to show you how like straight up in Nigerian, like how straight up like the difference, right? In Nigeria, technically, based on the culture, you're not allowed to move in with a girl until you actually get married to her.
Yeah.
Then how
Right?
are you gonna know?
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like, but in the UK, like you guys, they're thinking you're not even married. You're thinking of getting a house together. Like you're thinking about getting an apartment together. So
joint accounts and you're not married.
Yeah, joint account. You're not married. But in Nigeria, before you do all those things, bros, if you don't put
like you have to put that ring on the finger
before any of this thing happens.
any conversation
So
like that.
off of that, then,
Yeah.
which culture, in your experience, obviously, is more dramatic when dating?
What do you mean dramatic?
So like intense, more dramatic. So for example, for me, like as you said, that's moving in together without having any like ring on your finger is dramatic.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But for me, asking for marriage on the third date is
like, bro,
intense.
Nigerian men will literally talk to you about marriage on the third date.
What's
up.
third day? On the first day?
On the first day, they're telling you about how many kids they want you to have. Like,
I'm telling you,
I'm trying to move straight to the point.
Look,
we're trying to.
If we go back, if we go back to Nigeria, I'm pretty sure like you see people shouting, "Hey, Chenke, come now, I want to marry you."
Sorry, who?
I'm telling you on the street.
Like, so it's more direct, but
it's direct. It's to an end goal.
To answer your question, what was your question again?
So it's who's more dramatic?
Who's more dramatic? Like I think the UK people are more dramatic with dating things
because there's more things involved.
Like they're very visual with their dating. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like. We're going out on dates, we're going to the best places, we're traveling out, we're doing all of that.
Well, for me, I think the experience was, obviously I don't know the culture so much, but the experience from what I know has been the opposite in the sense where like Nigerian men have been, and women have been really intense, and they're like, we're going to go these luxury places and we're going to have these intense dates and then we're going to like marry tomorrow.
Right.
And then...
Right. So...
no, wait, look. Let me, sorry, before you say it, see... This is my own personal opinion. If they want to come for me, they should come for me. But this is my own personal opinion. The way Nigerians behave in Nigeria is different than the way Nigerians behave in abroad.
Big facts.
How?
It's almost like let a bird out of a cage. Like in a cage, you're used to doing one thing. Like in Nigeria, the highest a girl will tell you that she wants to go is to go to Dubai and come back. Right? Like that's the highest, and it's not every girl that will get it. Some of them get it like off of dates. Someone will just call them, come and take them on a flight. But like in terms of dating, you see a lot of people that will live 10, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years in Nigeria. They're not dreaming of going anywhere. They're just dreaming of hustling. You see married couples get there. It's not a want, but Nigerians come here and everything is like, oh my God. People are going to Europe. Let me go to Europe as well. Oh, people are going to this. Let me go as well. So it's now become a thing of FOMO. You start getting FOMO because we almost feel like we weren't exposed to a lot of things back at home. And then we come here and there's there's this huge wide world to see. So that's my own opinion, and it's like a cat out.
Right, I would not to. I mean, I don't want to know because I'm Nigerian, innit? But I feel like, but I agree with you and say like, yes, the way they act in Nigeria is totally different. But I won't say it's a cage, right? So the way I see it is most Nigerian, like not a lot of them, but like some of them, the ones that you've met that you say you have bad experiences, those ones that give you bad experiences, yeah. The thing with them is, how do I put it? They feel the things that worked for them back home would work for them here, right? So let me give you a perfect example. Normally, when you're talking to a girl in Nigeria, one thing you want to show her is how big your pocket is, right? You want to show her how big your pocket is. You want to show her like you're a provider, straight up. Do you get me?
Yeah.
So, but in the UK, it's totally different because they don't need you to provide for them, to be honest. They just want to show you they want you to show them that you actually care for them, you love them. So, but a lot of the mistake a lot of Nigerian men make is that they bring that same mentality here and they try to use that same line here. So there's like, oh, I will spend my money on you. I'll buy you boats. I will buy you aeroplane. I will take you to this. I'll take you to that. To be honest, not to knock them out, but a lot of them, you end up dating them and they won't do any of those things. They will just
overpromise and
exactly. Once you start dating them, the next thing they start talking about is how many kids. Like, let's start having kids. I want to do that. So
yeah,
it's like when they come here, they lose home training. That's just what it is. I think
that's what it is. Yeah,
but it's not all of us. Some of us, some Nigerians are still very.
I think where it differs is Nigerians that are exposed. Yeah. Because there are actually a lot of Nigerians from back home that are actually exposed even back at home, because maybe for summer vacations their family was always taking them abroad, or even they watch movies and they learn, and you see some of them watch TV shows, reality TV shows, and they actually learn all these nuances. Those ones are different. But like they're the ones that
like straight from the east
to one on each boy.
Like straight
one is a boy. It's not 20 million to get proof of funds.
Do it. So straight up,
on the boy.
I feel like we're confusing now. So basically, like in Nigeria, like there are two classes of people, right? There are people that grew up in the city, and there are people that grew up in the urban areas.
No, rural.
Is it urban or rural?
Rural areas.
Right, rural areas, right?
Yeah.
So those people that grew up in the rural areas, they're not used to that whole westernized lifestyle. So when they come here, they just go straight into
it's fast paced.
I spend my money, because people like that, most of the time, when they get married, it's arranged marriages. So they never understand how to like actually talk to a girl, how to like get to
know her. Yeah.
So they just come straight from the ghetto to the city. And the city happens to be the UK.
The UK, yeah.
So the only thing they know how to do is use the same things they knew back home to, but it's not, the approach doesn't work.
And it's not, I won't say it's everything that they learn back home, because some of the things they actually do is things that they saw in movies that they think actually work.
True.
You see like in movies, a guy will tell a girl, oh, I want to give you the world, or I'm going to love you till the day I die. I love you to the moon and back. You now see them trying to use those words as well. That's why there are even times where I'll say some things to like a girl, she'll be like, I've heard that before. You're Nigerian, right? I'm like,
see, nowadays, you'll be scared to even say I'm Nigerian, because I feel like some Nigerian men have ruined reputation for the rest of the world.
I'll tell you, they've rinsed every single thing. Right? Every single genuine thing you want to say, they've rinsed it.
So yeah, like it's totally different in that sense.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, can I ask both of you, what are your love languages? Personally, for each.
Love language. Wait, you talking about...
What's your love language? For example, physical touch.
Okay, so for me,
what do you
physical
think?
touch and quality time.
Okay.
For me.
Mine is actually an evil mix. Funny enough, like an evil mix. So it's an evil mix of three. Quality time, physical touch, and gifts. I love getting gifts. That's basically it.
That's great. So can you date someone whose love language is completely different from yours?
Yeah, 100%.
Elaborate.
All right, so I feel like dating someone that is the same thing with you is good. But also I feel like the whole point of even dating in the first place is getting to know other people, getting to know like how other people work. So I feel like if you date someone that's totally different from you, it helps you, because it helps you build other things about yourself. For example, if you date someone that their love language is acts of service, you learn from dating them, you're learning to actually help people, how to actually be there for people. You're learning how to be like, to consider other people's feelings, because you know that this person I'm dating, they need me to do this for them. So I feel like if you're going to date someone, dating in the right sense should be getting to know someone and conforming to that person's need to, provide for that person, to step in for that person. So yeah, I can date someone that is totally different from me, because I know like I'm there to learn. I'm there to actually be better, a better version of myself in that sense. Yeah.
It makes sense, but for me, what happens a lot of times is, and the reason why this question exists is because a lot of times people don't understand what love languages are in terms of what other person's love languages are. So you try to show love in your love language. So if Joshua's love language is physical touch, and I will constantly show, and mine is words of affirmation, I'll constantly try words of affirmation for him, but it'll mean nothing for him because it's not his love language. So I feel like a lot of people these days try to talk in their love language rather than the other person's love language. So that's why this question: would you date someone whose love language is different?
Yeah, let me answer it. I wouldn't generally, but I would in one scenario, and that's if this person I'm dating has this mindset of, if you're in a relationship, think about the other person as the other person is thinking about you. For example, if I'm in a relationship, I'm willing to sacrifice things that I'm used to be with you, but it only makes sense if you're willing to do the same, because if I'm not catering to my own love languages, it's going to make me miserable. As much as I'm trying my hardest not to. But now for you that is in that relationship with me, even if you're not going to give me physical touch all the time, or you're not going to buy me gifts all the time, at least buy me gifts in holidays, or randomly, maybe every 2 months, just buy me something randomly, or even something as little as, oh, I was just walking by and I saw this trinket, send it, or a cheap
It doesn't
gift.
have to be expensive.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be expensive. Or go on Shein and buy a shirt or something. But like, I can see the effort at least.
the thoughts.
And you've already communicated to me that, oh, this is not your love language. But if I see you doing it, I'll appreciate it a lot more. So I would say that's the only scenario where I would date someone outside my love language.
Okay, that makes sense. Another question for me then is, okay, tell me this. Is there like a traditional greeting or way of greeting in Nigeria for your parents? Like, for example, I come from India, right? So in India, you use a different manner of speaking to your elders. And you like physically bow down to your elders or whatever. Is there a traditional way of greeting in Nigeria?
It depends on the culture. I think different cultures have their different ways. I know the Yorubas, like, if a guy goes to a girl's house, the one thing you want to do is prostrate for the family. They
prostrate. That's either head down flat on the ground, or if it's not even just for family. I'm telling you, if you walk into a house where there's an elderly man and an elderly woman, you see them going all the way down and touching their toes, while raising one leg to the back and just touching their toes. Or you see the girls coming, they'll rub their back and squat like Kotsi. And like in Igbo land, it's also the same thing. The girls will come and put one shoulder
like another
down,
thing.
so you tap them, or the guys will come and just bend straight down, tap them.
Another way is like we use two hands. Like for Igbo people, if you're shaking your elders, use two hands, and then like,
use two hands. If you're shaking an elder, don't use one hand.
So going off of that, right? When you say prostrating or kneeling, what if your partner refused to greet your parents traditionally? Is that a deal breaker?
It depends on how old your parents are.
Let's say they're very traditional parents. They're old. They don't really haven't traveled out of Nigeria a lot.
So let me say this, right? I feel like being in a relationship means that you're accepting my culture and I'm accepting your culture as well. So if you want to date me, and in my culture, like when you come to see my parents, you need to greet them a certain way, and you're not willing to do that, then you're not the one for me, in all honesty. Because that is, how they say like the bare minimum? That is literally the definition of bare minimum. Just give, like, even I don't want to bring up the Bible because I know, like, but like, it says give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar, right? Like, so when you're in when you're in, for example,
When you're in Rome.
when you're in Rome, act like the Romans. So if you're gonna come, if you're being in a relationship with me, which means you're coming into my culture as well. So when you're in my culture, we have a certain way we greet our parents. So technically, you have to, like, whether you like. So if you're not able to do that, if you actually say you can't do that, then you're not the one for me. Yeah.
But in a lot of cultures, not only culturally, but what if for your partner, bowing down or kneeling down is for them disrespectful or not okay?
Is it disrespectful for my culture? Because the truth is,
context.
Yeah, the truth is, if I go to their house, right, and there's certain things they have, a way of doing, they will expect me to do that as well.
Yeah,
because that is what it is. Like relationship in general, those ones in that sense, those are the bare minimum. Like those little things, those are the bare minimum. So if you can't do that, if you're having a problem with simply just greeting my parents the right way, then you have problems with so many other things. Let's be honest. Yeah. Because that is the bare minimum. What you do for like 2 seconds and you're done. It's not, sometimes it's like 1 second.
Yeah. Let me say this. Let me say this. Yeah. The reason, one thing about especially our African culture is, it is common that when you do that, the person you do that for blesses you.
Yeah.
They wish you well. Or your days will be long, because it's for some of us, it's coming from the Bible where it says honor your family, honor your father and mother, so your days will be long. But you see actually physically, like for example, my uncle, sorry, I'll have to speak Igbo for a while, but I'll tell you exactly what he's saying. For my uncle, exactly, whenever I go to greet him, his name is Celestine, I'll be like, hi Uncle Cele, Donna, and I'll go down and you see him say something like, hey, unwam chuku goziege, like, hi my son, God richly bless you. And he will tap you in the back. You will live long. Like, you will start saying more things in Igbo language that will keep blessing you. Will live long. Your pockets will never go empty. Like, it's stuff like that. It's very sweet. So if I now tell my partner this, now if my partner says, for example, like your question, say if she says that, oh, she's not gonna do it. Now it's not my job to explain this context. But even after if I've said this context, you still decide not to, please buy it. Yeah,
agree. Agreed. Completely agree. So let's make it a little bit more lighter then.
Okay.
So a spicy question. Who should pay on the first date? And don't give me that it depends answer.
Right, on the first date, it should be the guy.
Okay, why?
Because technically, it's the guy that asked the girl out.
What if it's the other way around?
It should still be the guy.
Why?
Because I feel like one thing with a guy, as a guy, the first thing you want to do in a relationship is show that you actually provide. Now, the only time I have a problem with this is when girls start saying, "Oh, it's your role. Like you have to always be the one to pay." No, it's not. But on the first date, yes, you should be the one to pay because you want to show her that. Yes,
you can provide.
But no, hold on. Depends. If you don't like the girl and she asks you out and you go out of courtcy, then
I was waiting for you.
Please, you pay because it's you that approach me. I mean, Why
are you going out on dates with a girl that you don't like? Excuse me.
Hold on. For me personally, I have this thing where I don't know how to say no to people. I don't like disappointing people. Right? So if you ask me out, fine. I would say
yes. Say yes to everything.
I was at that point. What I'll do is I'll say yes to the date. But while we're in the date, I'll tell you, right, I'm not interested in anything. I just want to be friends or whatever.
Heartbreak. Oh my God.
I'm sorry, but you pay for the food.
You're leading them on. Joshua.
Okay. For me, I'll say the guy should pay, but that's now risky because.
It's risky.
Risky.
Yeah, that's not risky because if you're dating a Nigerian girl, she's gonna tell you where this is gonna have places she wants to go. And for Nigerian girls, the allure for restaurants, you can get burger for £13, but she wants to go to the place where they sell burgers £60.
It's the aesthetic.
It's the aesthetic. It's the luxury for them. They want to get Instagram pictures. They want to show off to their friends that, oh, this guy is taking me out on a date. Now, in that case, we have to split the bill because now let's both of us get Instagram pictures. If we are doing this for Instagram pictures, you get me? Both of us should split the bill.
Yeah.
But if I'm allowed to pick the place, the location, set a price tag, and be generous enough, I want to pick a place where at least you can have maybe 2 sets of meals, and have maybe like 3 cocktails, and it's affordable for me, then we'll do it. But if you now want to pick the place, and I now look at it and I'm like, we're splitting the bill. We are splitting it.
No, yeah, I think I agree with you. Like, it depends on the situation, but technically the guy should be the one to pay.
Yeah.
In the whole sense, because you asked me if a girl is the one that asks. We all know that the chances of a girl asking you out on a date is like slim to none. It's like 1 in 2 million. But technically, if it's a guy, the normal way it should happen, the guy asks the girl. The guy should pay for the first date.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, should exes ever stay friends?
No.
Right. No. It depends on the person. It depends on the people.
Okay.
Right? So some people have the ability to separate pleasure from or whatever, separate this from that, right? Why some people don't. Right. If you think, for me as a person, yeah, if once I'm done with you, I'm done. Right? Once I'm done, I'm done. Like there's nothing that can happen that will say, oh yeah, I want to go back. No, once I'm done, I'm done. We're moving on. Right? So if in that sense, and then if the girl and as well understands that, then yeah, we can be friends. But right, girls that my exes that I'm friends with, we don't talk all the time. But when we see, yeah, we catch up, no problem. But if you're going to be friends with your ex, don't let the conversation you have with her be more than the conversation you have with your girlfriend. Right? I think that's the way you draw the line. Yeah. If you can be friends, you can be like casual friends. Oh, hi, hello. But when it's like you're chatting with her more than you're even talking to your girlfriend, then no, in that case, you shouldn't be.
And Joshua?
I'm always the devil's advocate. My own is no. And here's why I say no. Because as much as, like you said, reduce the way you talk to your ex in comparison to the way you talk to your girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, look, let me paint you a scenario. Your girlfriend is pissed on that day about something entirely different, right? You as well, you're in a kind of like a sour mood, right? And then you both are having an argument, and your ex hasn't called in 2-3 weeks, but then she calls at that moment. That's a fight. That's a fight right there. It could be totally platonic between you and your ex, but you see at that moment, because she has access to you at that moment and both of you are fighting, it's a big problem.
Bro, that's why I said casual friends. Like you can't be tight friends with your ex. No. Because then I don't feel like my ex should be the one calling me. If we want a conversation, I should be the one reaching out. Don't call me because we're not that tight, and you only talk in occasional situations. It's not like someone you'll be talking to every time. When they are too close to you, then there's always going to be a problem. But like when it's like, oh, hi, hello, that's fine. There's no problem. You can be friendly.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, a loaded question now. So what's worse, cheating physically or emotionally?
Emotionally.
Why?
Because emotionally it's harder to depict, but it makes the relationship more strenuous. Because if you're cheating on someone emotionally, there's a lot of things that your partner is going to now be lacking. And as much as we want to say sex is like a very strong thing, sex is like the extreme. A lot of people cheat like terrible ways before they get to that point.
Yeah.
And it's hurtful to go through that every day. It's like constant punishment, death by 1,000 cuts.
Yeah.
Than just one cut.
Yeah, I think I agree with him. Yeah, cheating emotionally is like death by 1,000 cuts than just doing it straight up and bam. So like, first of all, you shouldn't be cheating in the first place. Yeah, you shouldn't be cheating.
To start with.
To start with, you shouldn't be cheating. But like, yeah, when you cheat people emotionally, it's more draining. It's more draining on them. Like it's because at first you stop talking to them. They're in the same room with you. You don't say anything. The conversation starts becoming awkward. There's a lot of, so what are we doing today? So what's the plan? It's draining. You get tired of it, and like there's no point. Just end it at that point. So yeah, first of all, you shouldn't be cheating in the first place.
Yeah.
But yeah, cheating emotionally is more intense than cheating physically.
Agreed.
Anyways.
So?
Right. So, Sophia, now what do you think is now we've had this conversation and we've been able to talk about relationships in Cardiff and Nigeria. I just want you to end it, right? End this whole thing, this episode, with one statement. If you're going to end this one episode with a statement, yeah, I'm putting you on the hot seat because you've been asking those questions since. So now, if you don't say anything, this podcast is not going to end. And I know, we have to, because of time, but end this whole podcast with one statement. Dating is intense. It's intense. Don't do it. Stay away from it.
There you have it. You heard it from
Stay
Sophia.
single.
Dating is intense, but if you can handle it, fine. If you can't, stay single. Right, guys, we said at every end of episode we'll give you a word. But now I think we'll do it at the beginning of the episode. So the word for this episode will be Abi. Right. Abi is basically question mark. That's basically what it is. Abi is question mark. So when I say guy, Abi, how will you say?
Okay, let me give you an example. You're going home, Abi. That means you're going home, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's like using Abi just signifies a question mark.
Abi, you go show that place. Means you're going to be there, right? It could also be used as in.
Or
when someone, like, say someone says, men are scum.
Abi.
Like,
so it's just Abi is just basically like,
it's like a huge exclamation question mark to like something
to support something. Yeah,
mostly meaning what or as in.
Yeah, all of that.
Yeah,
there you have it. That's the episode on Chop It Up. See you next time, guys.
Bye, guys.